Hi, so today I'll be recording a podcast for my ICD class. Um, the goal for this podcast is to raise awareness about disability and ableism and to share what I learned in class throughout the weeks in ICD. So I have four participants here. Um, so could you kindly state your name, major, and your nationality?
Sort
Can we start with Megan? Yeah.
Okay, I'm Megan. Um, I have three majors. Unfortunately, they're all in the business school. I have supply chain management, information
Unfortunately.
systems, and operations technology management. And I am from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Nice. Daisy?
Hi, I'm Daisy. I'm majoring in conservation biology, and I'm American.
American. Oh, hey.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
I'm
I
actually American.
have an international business major. I'm from Malaysia.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Yuan Ling. I'm majoring in computer science and I'm from Hanoi, Vietnam.
Wow, nice. Thank you for being here, everyone. Yeah, and I'm Sujit. I'm majoring in computer science and I'm from Malaysia. So, um, so we are all gathered here today to answer a few questions, and to basically just have your own opinion about disability and ableism. So these are very open-ended questions. At least I try to make them. So try and just speak whatever pops up in your mind. Yeah, as I said, the goal of this podcast is to, at the end, I would ideally share a few pieces of information that I have learned in class. Um, so hopefully you guys will have some takeaways from this podcast at the end. So the first question is yeah, close your eyes and kind of imagine a disabled person. Can you give me maybe some characteristics or traits that you can visually kind of imagine, you know?
Wait, so it's what, visualize a disabled person?
Yeah, just visualize a disabled person.
For me, I visualize someone in a arm brace, especially their left arm.
I see.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Yuanling broke his arm.
Elbow.
So it's kind of technically considered
Is it?
no, you're not disabled.
It's
Temporary.
a
So it's
temporary
like-
disability.
Yeah, so I will later share like the official definition of disability. That's one of the items on the list. So yeah, maybe you want to go around sharing what is your vision of a disabled person?
I mean, if it's physical, then there's some kind of like obvious physical sign. Like if they're
Mhm.
blind, you can tell by their eyes or like their hearing aids or
Mhm.
their cane. But if it's mental, then you would have to look more at their behavior.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I have the same answer as Daisy, honestly. But I do also have a physically and mentally disabled brother, and he was born that way. So you can see this like when he walks, his left leg is shorter than his right, so he would
Okay.
have like a slight limp.
I see. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, interesting. So we got the right candidate here to share. So yeah, I have like there's another question that talks about like if disability ever affected you in your life, like if you have any like family members who are like who fall into the category of like disability. So you want to share, Kayla? Like your if you don't have any, or if it falls within like whatever they say just now,
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
just
it falls within whatever they say, and I
Yeah.
don't personally know anyone who is
mm-hmm. Who's like disabled.
disabled.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
any way. Yeah, yeah, it's actually very interesting. So before I took the class, like when I was like asked this question, most of the time I would probably think of some sort of like physical disability, like a paraplegic, you lost something, a leg or something, and it's actually not true. So I like the point that Daisy made about like mental disabilities, which is also one of the categories and one of the type of disabilities. So for your information, there are 4, 5, 6 types of disabilities. So there is a mobility disability, cognition disability, in the independent living type of disability, which is they categorize it under difficulty of doing errands alone, hearing disability, which falls into deafness or difficulty hearing, vision disabilities or self-care disabilities, which are disabilities that have difficulty carrying out daily tasks. So that's why I searched online. Yeah. So so there's a lot of
Interesting.
disabilities. Yeah. Yeah. So like, I think what the interesting part about like the types of like disabilities I found is like the cognition part, because it's not really visible. So like I have friends who are like who has like ADHD, but they act like like they are kind of
They
normal
look
on the
normal.
outside. You can carry out like a very normal conversation, and they don't really look like anything peculiar. So you guys wanna, yeah, anything surprise you on the list? I mean, it's kind of no, I guess like everybody knows a bit about disabilities, like cognition disabilities too. So right, everyone agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit
Yes.
surprised to learn that
Mhm.
like not being able to live by yourself, even if you're not technically disabled, is considered that. Because I used to work as a senior caregiver for the elderly,
Damn. Wow.
and like obviously when you get older, your body deteriorates, and they couldn't like walk to the bathroom by themselves. So,
Would you like to share more about your experience with what's caregiver? Is it? As a
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few friends, like American friends who are like caregivers. I'm not sure if it's like a common like volunteering thing here.
oh, I did it as a job, so I don't
Uh-huh.
really know, but
Well, so what do you do like?
it's basically just like watching them to make sure that they
Mhm.
don't get hurt. Because if the elderly people get sick or if they fall, then they could like die a lot easier.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And because they can't do things like they're not very stable when they, or at least the people I was taking care of, they're not very stable. So just like accompanying them, making sure they don't fall, and just
Yeah.
helping them do basic things like cook.
Yeah, like the thing about disability is that anybody could fall into the category of like by like overnight you could like just be disabled, right? Like
Right.
like for example a car accident or something. So
Or
I mean
falling
there's
from a
some
bed.
degree of like sympathy we can kind of like have towards like people who are like disabled. So
Yeah.
yeah, and like old people, yeah, I've like I heard stories like people who like fall down, like old people usually they fall down, they crack their bone or something like that, and it's just really bad. Like it just goes downhill from there. Like their health, everything just like deteriorates. Like this is real. So like no joke. Like if you're old, like don't fall down. If you fall down, it's like really hard. And yeah, guys, lighten up, lighten up, chill, chill,
Okay.
chill. Whoa, this is so quiet, huh?
Trying.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you
So-
guys have like any personal experience with like I know like I forgot that you have a like it's so nice that there's like a that I can interview someone with like who's
Experience.
yeah the life not experience but like they have like a
Exposure.
brother, right? Yeah. Is it hard to live with someone with like disability? What disability would you categorize him in if you're comfortable sharing?
Mostly it's cognitive.
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like the limping part isn't that hard. Like
Mhm.
it was hard at first because we had like a lot of trips to Singapore, like medical trips mostly,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a lot for me because I was a kid and having to wait in like waiting rooms for like 5 hours a day, like that's fucking horrible.
Damn.
Yeah, but he's better now, but mostly because of my mom's efforts in like trying to put him in therapy, like teaching him, like she tutors him daily, like after school.
Wow. Does it get better, like through like all these therapy sessions?
I think it does, but you shouldn't expect much because it varies from person to person. Right?
So what kind of improvement did you see him like got better throughout the weeks or like the months or like the years?
I feel like if my mom hadn't put him in therapy throughout the years, like he wouldn't have been, able to
Mm.
run or walk as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it like inborn? Is it like innate? Like she just
Yeah, he was born with it. Yeah,
I see.
he was born early, like 2 months early.
Oh, so it's like premature.
Mhm.
I see. Wow. Um. Yeah. So I think we can move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad that I know a little bit more about your family now. Yeah, but definitely it's not easy. Like I have my grandfather has like past like experience with like stroke and stuff, and he has his basically half of his like body is like kind of like weak, so we have to like um assist him wherever he wants to move, like go upstairs, go downstairs and stuff, go out, you know. So it's, I wouldn't say it's comparable to what you experience and and stuff, but it is to some degree kind of, you need to put more effort in terms of like taking care of like the people around you. So definitely not easy, and it's like really respectable that your family is doing that. Yeah. So yeah. So the next topic is like, yeah, do you know basically like who qualifies for so in the US they have this social security disability insurance. Do you know, could you guys give a guess of like who falls into the realm of this, who could possibly apply for social security disability insurance? Okay, I'll just give you a definition of disability. Okay, disability. Don't search online. Don't cheat. Wait. Okay, so it's in here somewhere. Yeah, so the official definition from the ADA, which stands for American with Disabilities Act, is a disability. A person with a disability is a person who has physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activity. This includes people who have a record of such an impairment even if they do not currently have a disability. Wait, let me find another one, a better one.
That was pretty good. How
I
would you
think-
define disability from
Yeah.
your class? Don't need to look it up.
Yeah, so I mean like they also follow the definition, but basically it falls into I think important like word, like a phrase, like to the idea of like disability is it kind of impairs you to do a lot of stuff in life.
Mm.
So by having that disability or having that disease or something, it kind of limits and brings like a bit of challenge in terms of like carrying out tasks in your life. So that's the basic idea. So yeah, going back to the question, could you name a few people, or maybe a few
Condition.
conditions that fall into people who qualifies to apply for social security disability insurance?
Sorry, I actually know about this.
Really?
It's the
This is
ob-
good, eh? You can share.
It's the obvious ones,
Mhm.
like being blind, being deaf, but there are also, I think, mental illnesses,
Mhm.
PTSD, and ADHD.
Yes.
For chronic pain, there's fibromyalgia. And
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember the others, but
Oh, that's pretty in depth.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow. How did you take any classes?
no, because
Such don't like.
No, I considered applying for it.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Okay. For social security, so that's why you read about like those stuff. I see. Wait, just to be clear, if you're okay to share, oh yeah. What about like diabetes and stuff? Do you guys think it falls into?
Yeah,
Wait, why does it,
It does?
fall into?
Isn't it a
what-
disease?
because
Right.
they don't
Yeah.
have, if they don't have insulin, they'll die. For it to
Yeah.
do
So
it.
so this is one of the things that surprised me also. So diabetes, it's also considered something that can challenge your life and kind of like become some sort of obstacle in your life. So you can apply for social security disability insurance if you have diabetes, but they have to like basically do all those like, it's not a guarantee. So
Mm.
basically, but you can apply for it.
And
So
it's really hard to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so expensive too.
really?
Wait, what are you talking about?
The insulin one.
Oh,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's hard to get SSDI.
Oh really?
Yeah. And insulin is
Yeah.
cheap outside of America, so just get it
Outside.
outside of America.
Yeah. See.
Wait, if diabetes counts, what if I have a fever?
I can search it up, but
Like, what's the
What do you mean?
what's the line? 'Cause
what's
you
the
said-
line, right?
Yeah, you said diabetes. Like, what about
Because like diabetes, right?
you just?
I
can't-
think it's logical lah. It's just I think it's logical because it basically like, yeah, without it you cannot function on, you know.
It's a
It's not
chronic
even-
thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, basically you can't you get like headaches and stuff, and you can like be like just paralyzed
But
there.
not even. It's like, I forgot which type it is. I think it's type 2. But like, if my friend, if he doesn't inject himself every other day, he'll
Mm.
die.
What,
Yeah.
What about asthma?
Search
I
it
think
up.
asthma
That's a good
is-
I
question.
don't think so.
Asthma
No.
Why you don't
Let
have
me
an
search it up.
Inhaler.
is asthma can people for SSDI?
I think the general thing is like, if it's easily treatable and it's
Wow.
not life threatening.
Okay, I got a short answer, but I didn't. So, the website says, if you are disabled because of asthma, that is severe enough to prevent you from working, you can apply for SSDI. Wow, Yinling.
Oh.
That's a good guess. Yeah. So basically, anything that can impede your life's like not like, like anything that can stop you from like living a normal life. Basically, I think I would say.
Mm.
I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert, so I would just like give a rough guess. But it's good to know that, you know, there's some things that you can, like some, yeah, you can apply to like some the disability insurance. So okay. So I have another is another video that I watched. It's called, okay. Before I talk about like what's the video about, would you consider a disabled person inspiring? So let me give you a bit of like a scenario. Okay, so you know they like someone who lost their legs, both of them, and every day they can still wake up and go to work and earn a living.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. but you know, so everyone agrees there's like inspiring, basically. But do you know that, you know, the way you convey the meaning of it, like if you're inspired by someone, right, the way you convey, like the way you derive the inspiration, right, is kind of sensitive towards a person with disability. So there is a kind of like informal concept of inspiration porn. It is
What?
so yeah, it's coined by this Australian disability activist called Stella Young. She died. So
Okay.
but
Okay.
basically
Thank you for the information.
yeah, because it says the late, right, so she died. But she gave a TED talk about how she dislikes people saying that, you know, whatever she does, like the normal
Yeah.
things in life that
Fucking-
she do, right, is inspirational. Okay, so
Okay.
this is a concept that is like initially is very surprising. It's very hard to parse, right? So we had a discussion in class. So basically it's like that. Okay, so imagine somebody doing something. So for example, maybe they won a Nobel Prize or something.
Okay.
Okay, you don't focus, you know, when you say someone is inspiring, you must make sure you know which part of the act is inspiring. So
Mhm.
if you fall into the realm of like you are inspired because he's disabled and he achieves something, that is inspiration porn. Instead of like, instead, like the opposite is focusing on the task. So you are like inspired by the task that he did,
Okay.
and on top of that he's disabled. You get the two meaning, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? You know, I can play the video like later on, like you can just see, but it's quite long. So yeah, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
No, I feel like
Very
it's
interesting thought,
it's like
idea,
a very
right?
big, elephant in the room.
Mm.
Because like, whenever you see like a disabled person achieve something very
Yeah.
prestigious, there's always like you can't help but to, like people will definitely be like, oh wow,
Yeah, yeah.
and then like you can't just ignore the fact that it's like,
Yeah,
and
right.
it's very society.
Right. So you wanna the act is it's inspiring, but you know
Right.
it's just there's a lot of like nuance in terms of like how you perceive how you perceive that it as like inspiring, right? So I think I have like something here that is like
Yes.
I don't know, it's not here, but like yeah. What about Daisy? Do you have anything to say about inspiration porn?
It sounds a bit
Why did I
like-
say it like that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I can give like why they use the word porn. Let me see.
Be careful with your search.
It's kind of hot here.
Whoa, be careful with
Oh.
the words.
Hold on.
I mean, it sounds like downward social comparison,
Mhm.
which is like another sociological term, which
Wow.
is like
Elaborate. Yeah.
it's called downward because you're comparing yourself to people who are beneath you in society, and you can only do that from a place of privilege. So the good thing about doing that is like it can make you feel grateful and like inspire you, right? But the bad thing is, you can tend to be like, oh, at least I don't have it that bad, and then it kind of
Oh.
automatically makes that person feel worse.
Yeah. That's like part of like inspiration porn. I think you hit it right at the mark. So like for me, I it took a long time for me to like actually grasp the idea of like inspiration porn, but it seems like you are so educated on this topic.
I
It's
took
really good.
sociology before, bro.
Oh, that's why I see. Okay, this is from Wikipedia, but I found a
Very
bunch
good
of
source.
no, I know. I usually wouldn't go for this, but
Yeah.
I did a bit of like research on like the definition. I feel like Wikipedia gives a bit more emphasis on the porn word.
Okay.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, I'll just read the whole the whole definition.
Definition.
So inspiration porn is the portrayal of people with disabilities as being inspirational to able-bodied people on the basis of their life circumstances. The term inspiration porn is by analogy with pornography, in that the material is perceived as objectifying disabled people from the benefit of the able-bodied. Inspiration porn is a form of ableism. An example of inspiration porn might be photo of a child with disability taking part in an ordinary activity, which has captions targeted towards able-bodied people, such as "Your excuse is valid. Before you quit, try. They didn't let their disability stop them." Something like that. So it's like they focus a lot of like, they're disabled, so they should not be able to do that, but they did it. That's like inspiration porn.
Yeah.
So you can't. So it's like you need to be careful, like when you say you are inspired by them. Yeah. So when the question was brought up by my facilitator, right? Then we all like, yeah, of course we are like,
Right.
inspired by them, right? But it's where you derive the inspiration from that truly matters. Yeah. So very interesting, right?
Yes.
This one of like, because we have like, so every week, right? We have like, we'll do readings. Then we will basically discuss all of these topics in class, and we'll do our research and do presentation. So this week, right, is a bit special. So this week we didn't read any material, but we basically watched a Netflix documentary.
Which one?
It's called Crip Camp.
What's
So
it about?
there's one of the
man.
topic I would say. So it's actually, let me search it. It's actually, I don't know, like, it's produced by Barack and Michelle Obama. Let me see.
Oh.
Yeah. So Crip Camp, and they have like awards too for it.
What's Obama's last name?
Obama. I saw it on TikTok, bro. So it's so sorry. Let me see. It's okay. It's a
Okay.
podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, oh yeah, executive producers President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Amongst like three other people. So yeah, it's
What is it about?
So what is it about, right?
Yeah.
This film, right, is like one of the best documentaries I watched. Like seriously. So they
Really?
talk about how basically the civil rights movement for disabled people kind of like got like better in the US. So previously, right, you will have, because there's a discrimination on disabled body people. So imagine if you're categorized as disabled, you will be in a class separate from all those normal kids,
Right.
right? So you grow up in society living with all these kids who are disabled, and you are wondering why they can't fit in to into society. And not only that, you have like transportation discrimination also. Disabled people, they can't really travel around so far, maybe there is no seat for them, or there's no place for them to put their wheelchair. Or like for Yan Ling, right, you see, like you know that there's like no not Yan Ling, cause no, but cause me and Yan Ling always goes to the chemistry building, and we always see all the switches, right, by
The
the
what?
door. There's a switch where you press, right, then the door
Yeah, right.
yeah, those are like the facilities that kind of
Help.
facilitates
Yeah.
them getting into class and receive equal education.
Facilities that facilitate.
Yeah. Yeah,
Even
so
the buses as well. They got the
right?
wheelchair.
Yeah,
lock.
they have the
Yeah.
wheelchair lock for them to be there. So yeah, there's a later question I'll ask, like okay, or maybe like we can jump to that. But basically the kind of like documentary just talks about a few people who are like who basically went through the whole civil rights era fighting for disabilities, and They basically are the people who are responsible for 2 acts, which is called Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 and the Americans with Disability Act, which basically transformed the whole infrastructure in the US. Basically, like all those places with multiple stories, right? They must have facilities to like basically help them to facilitate to help them get around. So if you're disabled, you should not be discriminated. You should have equal opportunity to maybe shop at the place you want to shop. You know, or go to the toilet. You wanna be have enough space to do everything. Yeah. So basically, yeah. That's you guys can. I encourage you guys to watch it. It's very nice. It's very like touching also. Yeah. Oh shit! That's one of my questions. So, yeah. Do you guys notice any facilities here? I mean, I already gave a few examples, right? But from our country, like I'm from Malaysia and from Jakarta, I don't think it's a common thing, right? In our countries
It's
to
so
have
bad
right?
in Jakarta.
Yeah, like I personally I bring my grandfather to a hospital. They have like lifts and all that stuff. But I would imagine like you bringing your brother to like a lot of places, then it's gonna probably be more tough for you to get around.
But
You wanna
Malaysia
share
doesn't
experience?
even have sidewalks
Yeah, right.
or even roads. So
Yeah.
you want to push a wheelchair, it's like
Yeah. That's the thing. That I want to make that contrast. You know, I feel like our group here is like very good because like we all come from different places. Then we can, I mean,
I
we
agree.
can kind of yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, right. And we study here for like maybe 2+ years, 3 years, maybe 4 years, maybe, right?
Mhm.
So we have like a good view about like the facilities here and how does like the US make it better somehow. So do you want to share, Megan? Like
Like for Jakarta,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, like even when you go there as a visitor, like you can see like sometimes people have those textured sidewalks for the
Mhm.
blind people to walk on.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
thing. Like ours is like I see on the road like some of them are cracked, and then the
Mm.
way they put it back together is just like chunks of like random
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff.
they don't really care, right? Like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean in Malaysia they also have, right? But it's like in cities, right?
I don't
They
know
have
about in Vietnam. I don't know.
But in Malaysia, basically, yeah, you can't speak for Malaysia, right?
yeah.
I mean, like for Malaysia, I feel like more less urbanized area they wouldn't have like a lot of like these facilities for them. So yeah, that's one of the things that I noticed.
Oh yeah, Jet. Speaking, I heard you were from this very small town in Malaysia called Malacca. Do they have it there?
Yeah, I visited like the capital of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, right. I feel like they have like more infrastructure to support like people with disabilities,
Right.
but it's still not enough, compared to like in the US, like even convenience stores here everywhere they will have a switch for for the wheelchair. They have a ramp to go out. In Malaysia they don't really care, right?
No.
Even the 7-Eleven in Malacca, they don't have a ramp. They don't even care if the door can fit, a wheelchair can fit through the entrance, So most people are kind of like discriminated and they don't really have equal access to everything. So and like and the water fountains, you notice, right? There's like a different elevation one for them to like drink.
Oh, that's
Right?
right. I thought it was for short people.
For short people too,
Get
but
the
like
fuck out.
yo
Yes, for me.
right? So yeah,
There's always one short.
there's
and
one
tall
short and one
You're
tall.
not
for water
sure.
fountains.
Water
yeah.
fountain,
You're
right?
not-
You press
I
and
thought it
drink.
was for kids.
Yeah, I thought it was for
Yeah,
short people.
I didn't know that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
There's
for
always
kids
a-
maybe. Yeah, but like wheelchair level also, I think it's for that
Oh,
reason,
that's a
lah,
good one.
Wow.
That's a good
right?
I
So
didn't pay attention.
and like the classrooms here, they have like legit a ramp for, and they have
Yeah.
like seats at the end of the auditorium, that
Yeah.
labels the thing,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
for the wheelchair to go in.
They
They
Then the
do.
table
Yeah.
are usually bigger and longer because they can fit the whole
What?
wheelchair in like a chair.
oh,
Right.
And then like concert halls also have
Yeah.
like designated wheelchair spots.
Yeah, so I think all of us can tell like the distinction. Lah.
Well, I don't have that in my school.
You probably do, you just didn't notice.
Really?
Yeah, like
What?
cause like, yeah, I'd like to share a bit about like the
Oh, not your dorm though.
Section 504
that's-
like Rehabilitation Act of 1973. So okay, so basically the reason for this law, this national law, is to forbid organizations and employees from excluding or denying individuals with disabilities an equal opportunity to receive program benefits and services. It defines the rights of individuals with disabilities to participate in and have access to program benefits and services. So like what I said just now, like equal access for everybody. And not long after that, in 1990, another law passed. It's called the Americans with Disabilities Act. So you hear this
Yeah.
every day?
Yeah.
Bro, what the? Bro. Yeah, so basically there are like 5 titles that the law basically like what's it reinforce in society. So like basically the first title is equal employment opportunity for individuals with disabilities,
I see that a lot.
right?
Yeah.
Applying jobs.
Yeah.
They have like
They will always ask you if you have this disability.
yeah, and
when
like
you apply for a job.
yeah, and like I think Google has like a few videos of like
Didn't pay
why
attention.
they think people with like very diverse background is good for their company and stuff,
Oh, I did learn about that.
right?
I know
right?
why. You wanna know why?
Yeah, you can share. Just why?
A company with higher diversity among its employees are proven to have better revenue.
I see.
Yes. It's a
What,
study.
what do you have any thoughts about that? Like
So it's
why?
not about
Motivation is
ethics,
money.
it's about money.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I don't know how. Because even my mom, I just had a conversation with my mom 2
Oh.
days ago. She said that don't American companies only want to hire Americans, like
Mm.
Caucasian?
Mm.
Then I told her about what I learned, saying that a company with diverse employees are more likely to be more successful, which
I
is
see.
why, yeah, and it's all about money, revenue.
Mhm.
That's why companies would want to reinforce. They really want to be rich, so they want to employ
Yeah.
diverse.
Yeah, like a lot of like surprisingly a lot of like entrepreneur like
Mm.
companies, right? All those like startups, right? A lot of them are contributed by immigrants too. So like immigrants as in like different races, that's what I mean. Like that's not necessarily true, but like
I mean, it's not just
there's a
about like
correlation.
skill set, it's about, different languages and things. Because if you want to go global, ultimately you need people who speak a bunch of different languages and like cross-cultural communication.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So the business side, like they get to benefit more in terms of like building like what do they call it, like relationship, like
Mm.
what's it called?
Public relations.
Networking.
Yeah, like there's a word for like good relationship between two countries. What do they call it?
Diplomacy.
Martial law.
Yeah, diplomatic relations. Yeah, yeah. So there's something like that. So like, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons too. Like you get to stay in touch with a lot of different cultures, and you can build services that benefits different cultures. Then that's how you get more audience, I guess.
Yeah, and
So-
I work in a hospital, and as you know, like medicine regulation is different with every country. So the FDA doesn't approve one of the biggest medications to treat endometriosis, which is a chronic pain condition, but it's like approved in pretty much every other first world country outside of America. So it's like Americans can, talk with scientists from other countries and work towards using the drug, which is called Dynagest, in their products, hopefully, because in America there's not really any good medication.
I see. So you mean like the drug is basically not like off the counter like drugs. It's like basically you need to be prescribed. But
yeah.
the issue is
Basically the company didn't pay for the FDA to approve it,
oh
so
I see. Okay.
yeah.
Wait, what does that have to do with disabilities again?
I mean, endometriosis is a disability.
Oh, of what?
It's chronic.
It's chronic pain.
Chronic pain. I
Yeah.
see. What? Where? Like which part of the body? Like everywhere.
So it's
Do you
when
want to
your
elaborate?
your uterus. Do you
I
know what
see.
a uterus is?
Yes,
Okay.
the female reproductive organ.
Yes, your
I'm
uterine
I'm very my biology
Okay.
has a A, so
Okay, good.
it's the best science I have. So. Okay, continue.
Your uterine lining grows outside of your uterus, so it
Wait,
can
you-
like
Outside of the uterus.
it can make your like organs stick together. It's like a non-cancerous growth.
Wow.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's inside out. I know the uterus lining is like
It's
inside the.
You have it inside,
Uh-huh.
but it also grows outside.
I see.
Yeah.
So the danger is it can stick to other organs.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Looks like what's your major again?
Conservation biology.
Okay. I don't know what's that, but yeah.
It's not related
so
to medicine.
So it's like conservation, but
Mm.
you're a biologist. Right? Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah, biologist
Sure.
plus conservationist, right?
Yes.
Right.
What's the conservation?
So like you conserve, you learn to like
Conserve water.
what? No, like for
It's
example,
just-
environment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you have a
Oh.
biology background to like support, like maybe you have,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a more hybrid thing. I feel
do computer science biology.
There is.
biotech, right?
Yeah,
Biotech,
There's
There's a lot of, like-
computational bio too.
yeah, interesting, huh? Where are we on time? 40 minutes. Okay, very good. Very good.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh,
So
actually, I have a question.
yeah, go ahead.
Is color blindness a disability?
That's a good one. I feel.
I don't think it is, but I don't. Based on your definition wise and not, it affects my daily life. And it's not that on and off. It's always on.
Yeah. Let me see.
I don't think it's because when you apply for a job, I did.
Oh my god, there's a lot of like. I think some of the things that I say, right, is like, some of the disabilities I confirm might not be, because this one is a short answer.
Mm.
They say like although considered only a minor disability, while there's another article that say no. so I don't know, but I guess it. So you have color blindness, like Yuan Ling. So
Yes.
like what's the part that you struggle most about, like
Driving.
driving, or like driving is like
no, but I
a
have
big
mild color blindness, so it's not like very bad.
yeah, but
It's,
it
yeah.
doesn't really stop you from doing your work, right? Is it?
It's supposed to stop me from driving, but I was
Mhm.
just lucky with, cause like in a driver's test, you're giving the color blindness test.
Yeah.
If you fail one, you fail everything.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
One section
Yeah,
of
you
the
fail
code.
one,
I mean,
you
like-
fail everything.
Yeah, it's an important test, like right. Like okay, you think of alternatives of like how do you want to address this problem? You can't use sound, cause you know
Red.
you're inside the car, right? You can't have like different sound cues to it, and you might be very far away.
Yeah,
or
but
something like
I
that.
feel like in color blindness in driving, I think they're most concerned with the traffic light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the visual cue that they need. Like, how do you want to address that? Do you think?
Well, I feel like
Flip
I think
cards,
for
flip cards,
most traffic
Yeah.
most traffic lights is you don't even need to know the color. You just know top is stop, down is go.
Oh.
Oh.
So that means like
Why would it matter if it's
I didn't know. Okay, so basically you can still tell like the color intensity, basically.
yeah
Right?
color blindness nothing to do with color intensity.
Bro, so I mean, so it's like a procedure. Basically, you need to like make sure you pass it. Yeah,
Mm.
I guess if you can still see the intensity of a color, it doesn't really matter because you
Yeah.
know the sequence, right?
And I don't think there's a traffic light where the color is important. Like
I see.
strictly
I
the
didn't
color.
know that.
There's no red and then green light in the same place.
Okay.
That's always
I see.
yeah.
Oh.
Yes, Daisy, you want to say something?
But like there are also some turning signs, like they only have one, and then if it's like they only show different colors in one spot.
Oh.
You do?
Different colors in one spot.
Yeah, so if like the light is green, then you can go, but it'll turn red if you can't. And there's
Really?
also
Bro,
like
seriously?
there is, yeah.
I see. Yeah, that's a big problem. I
There's
guess.
also like signs. The reason why we have different colored signs is like they all have different meanings. So if you can't see the color of the sign,
Yeah, I'm not really educated on this like this topic, like the science thing, like how they do, like
You all
what's
got
the
take
significance
driver's
of
test.
color. I took driver's test, but no, I like if you say that people, if the color of the sign is really important, right? That means you have to be able to distinguish color, which is like like the same symbol, but they have like different color, which has different meaning. Is that right?
Yeah.
So they have to do
They
do
do
have
some
that.
of those, yeah.
I see, very interesting. I didn't know that they have like the same symbol but different colors. Okay. You, like any examples, like what signs?
Sorry, I took my driver's test like 5 years ago, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think, I
yeah,
don't
right.
remember.
They
Every sign looks different though.
yeah, like I mean like,
remember a sign.
but I guess like there is a reason why they
Use different
want to
colours,
reinforce like
right? Yeah.
colorblind tests. So
Yeah.
there is some sort of like thing that's important. So but we can look more into it. But I think that's besides what we're gonna talk about, like the main focus. So okay, so yeah, so this is a very this next session, right, section is more controversial a bit. So like you can just speak your opinion, like do you, if you have any solutions to give, like, so what do you, the question is basically this, like, what do you think about the segregation in like the people with disabilities, basically. So I mentioned a few just now, like discrimination in terms of education. So like the video, the Crip Camp one is like the friends with disabilities basically study in a separate classroom downstairs, and they call them the upstairs kids, which means like they're all normal lah, they can climb stairs and all that, so they call them the
Damn.
upstairs. Yeah, so that was before like they passed the national law. So now what do you think of that? Obviously because the thing the reason why I brought this up is because they have like, it's still relevant in some ways. They still have programs, like for example this program called the Georgia's Network for Educational and Therapeutic Support. So basically, right, they segregate kids into this like support program, because their argument is that people with disability needs more help, and they are uniquely positioned to help them, right? And you have another argument, another side, which is like they should be integrated into life as somebody who's normal, and right, so that when they grow up, they can have like equal chance of like receiving the same opportunity and everything. So there's like two arguments here. First is like they are brought into a program which is segregated from the normal kids, and the other one is just go with the normal kids and see how they flourish, basically. So what are your thoughts on this? Or maybe yeah. Yeah, this is like it's not an easy problem. So
So your question was whether people with disabilities like their life should be integrated with people who don't have disabilities?
yes, or maybe you think they should have more exclusive support, and they should be like segregated from, not segregated as like this program basically takes people with disabilities and give them like extra support, they say, and like so that they can give them more help that normal school or public school doesn't give. So, and people sometimes oppose, like both arguments are, people would have their own opinion. So what do you guys think? Maybe like just go one round and see.
Is this strictly for education?
I just gave an example of education, but basically you can just, I think education is more you can see a few like remnants of like segregation like today lah, in terms of education,
Yeah.
right? You won't see like segregation in terms of like transportation anymore, at least not
Yeah.
that much.
Because I feel like education, the main goal is to pass the final exam, which is like the baseline.
Okay.
And the reason why they have the segregated thing for people with disability is so that they can make it too.
Mm-hmm.
So uh,
Right, right. It's like, yeah, don't worry. It's this. It's not that like the idea is like not that easy to like actually like.
yeah, because I feel like if you don't segregate them and just put them with the
Mhm.
people without disability,
Mm-hmm.
they might fall behind,
Mm.
which is not their fault. So if you segregate them, it's also like people who support segregation
Yeah.
is just looking for fairness,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can, additional support, so that they can be matched up equally at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, that's one of the arguments. So basically, you basically think if they have like a more exclusive program for them, they can have people who are more who can put more effort on them so that they can like be more competent in society, basically, right?
But only for education, like
Only for
specifically,
education. Yeah. So
'cause-
let's talk about education. Yeah. So yeah, I guess like but so like, what do you think about like what I said just now, like, they might be too segregated, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
That they, when they are brought into society, people still think they are weird, because they don't really socialize with people who are normal.
yeah, that's why I feel like the education one are strictly based on education, which is to graduate.
Yeah, I mean like education has like big aspects to it, right? You were talking about just strictly knowledge based. But in order to succeed, you sometimes need,
Soft skills.
right, soft skills like networking,
Yeah.
being able to persuade other people your ideas, or like share your ideas and have some emotional cue, right, something like that, right? That's one of the things that's interesting about like the Crip Camp one. I will share later on. But what do you guys think? Let's just get over this part of but I think it's a very interesting.
This is hard.
Yeah, if you don't have anything, you can just maybe share a bit. Like, what do you think? Is it good? Is it bad? You think? Or it should, if you have experienced anything like that, like have friends who have people who, I mean, like throughout my high school and my primary school, I don't really see people with disabilities like in wheelchair lah, like not like cognitive disabilities, but like physical disabilities. I don't really see them a lot. But it's not until I go to college that I have a friend who I don't really know what disability he falls into, but basically he's wheelchair bounded, right? Do you know him, right?
Yeah,
Taylor Swan.
yeah.
He's a Petronas scholar somehow.
Yeah.
He's really smart,
Mm.
but there's, I think he's from a talented school for talent or something lah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but so that goes to show we have like they are integrated into a good normal school, given equal opportunities, and they can still succeed, right? So yeah, so maybe what's your take on it, Daisy? Maybe.
I mean, I don't really like how like we define someone's worth based on how much they can contribute to society
Mm-hmm.
and act like normal, but if that's the goal, then I guess I would say that it depends on their condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's different with every person. Like some people, they just need more support that's not available in an integrated system. But at the same time, if all the normal schools can be more accommodating, then
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a lot more accessible.
Yeah, I guess like it's like you have to really know that person. You can't just label them as disabled.
Yeah.
So for example, like the example of that guy that we met in like the college on Taylor's,
Mm.
he has a normal like cognitive like functioning like person but he's just wheelchair bounded
yeah.
because he can't really move around without assistance, right?
Mm.
So you need to really define whether they are capable of like learning in the environment of like normal people, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the ways to do it. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think like unless it's related to like mental retardation
mm-hmm.
or maybe autism and like social issues, then I feel like most schools should be able to accommodate.
Yeah. Like, I have a friend in class, like my ICT class, who is under the McBurney supervision. You know? Are you too? You too?
I think
What
Really?
is
all of us,
McBurney is the
Disability.
disability as like assistant like for the school. So
Yeah.
yeah, anybody who is eligible, who falls into that category have some sort of
Like perks.
perks on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for example, my friend I don't want to make a mistake, but basically he's a slow reader. What was that called?
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia. Yes.
Oh, it's
Dyslexia is a
the
cognitive
words.
disability.
Mm.
So I think dyslexia. I'm not sure. Okay, I hope I didn't get this wrong. But basically, the perks that he get is an iPad, and they have like longer hours
To take that
to
exam,
take the
right.
exam
Yeah,
because
that's
he's a
what I
slow
like.
reader.
Right.
He processes slower,
Mm.
but it gives them the edge. Not the edge, but the equal playing field for
yeah.
compared to like people who are kind of normal. That's what so. I mean, I think we will all agree that it's a good thing to have this
Yeah.
health system to help them. So, no. Megan, do you want to share anything about like your thoughts about like education, like the segregation part? Should we? I think you got the answer. The question, right? But do you want to share? If not, we can.
I feel like I agree with Daisy that we shouldn't be, you know, like life isn't just about like contributing to other people, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if I feel like why can't we offer both, like for people who do want like a separate learning
that's a good
experience. Yeah, right. Like if
Yeah,
you
I
want
think that would be
giving
so
them
they
a
can pick.
choice
Yeah,
would be great.
instead of just
Yeah, I agree. So basically, not just binding them to something like from the start. Like they can be more flexible if they feel like it's not challenging. They can move into.
yeah, that
The
like they
normal
have the
setting.
choice to
Yeah.
like pick.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
That's
a
a good one.
that's a good one. So that means that basically every school should have a hybrid kind of mode to accommodate people. Yeah, I agree.
That's actually so good.
Yeah, that I agree. Yeah, it's always like
didn't-
why
I didn't
why
think
we didn't
about this.
consider the
Yeah.
both of it, right? Why can't
Sorry,
we
my
have
brain
both?
cells are just like
Yeah.
no.
I think that's an important mindset to have. Okay, so let's just move to Crip Camp, the documentary. So basically it's called Camp Jeanette, okay? Okay, I promise this is not boring at all, but it's basically a camp. I'll read the description of it. It's a summer camp for disabled people in the state of New York. The camp was partially funded and supported by the Jeanette Foundation. The camp was meant to provide a nurturing community environment for people with a range of disabilities such as polio and cerebral palsy. Camp sessions were typically 4 weeks or 8 weeks long. Camp Jeanette was a notable social environment, and some campers saw it as a utopian. So basically, the description basically says that, so the camp, right, is basically a place that gathers people with disabilities, and they have they call them counselors. Basically, people who are college students who are like kind of like not able-bodied. They will assist them to do whatever they want there. So one thing that makes it like really special about this like summer camp, right, is basically there's no restrictions. So people smoke weed there. People have their first sexual encounters there. Romantic relationships there. So they can do whatever they want basically there. So it's like a heaven for like disabled people who are there in the camp.
What if you want to murder someone?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
What?
What if I want to kill
There's no
someone?
rules. What is to kill someone or
I mean,
anything unethical?
I don't know. It seems that like from the documentary, it seems like everything is just like, because there are like people who regulate it, who are like able-bodied, who's like normal and kind of. So every like room they will have like counselors sleeping together with them. So if they need any assistance, but what I mean by they are free to do anything is like they decide what they want to eat. They decide what they want to do.
when they want to do it. They have no restrictions at all. So it's a very interesting idea, like the camp. So I think I told Yuan about this. Like, imagine we are Daisy, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a funny thing.
Nah, I'm just sleepy.
Okay, I think it's almost we're almost there. But basically, right, imagine we are normal, right? We are normal, like kind of normal. In maybe we like okay, none of us
Speak
are
for
perfect lah.
yourself.
None of us are perfect, but basically, like let's say we don't really have obstacles that affect us regularly that stop us like from living a quote unquote normal life, let's say. Okay, I can't speak for everybody here, but like okay, maybe for me. So imagine right, imagine we are considered normal, let's say, but there is another more higher being.
God.
Let's say there's like aliens who are
God.
higher than us.
Aliens.
They have like higher IQ,
Mm.
like way higher, and the average is way higher than ours.
Mm.
They can consider us as disabled, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the camp it goes the same way. So we are kind of normal, let's say, and people with do you know what cerebral palsy? So it's like a neuromuscular like a disease lah. Basically, they basically are wheelchair bounded. Then they are like that
Oh, okay.
basically, and they have difficulty speaking also. So it's hard to, because it's a muscular kind of like disease also. They can't really control like
Is that the Stephen Hawking?
Yeah.
yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
What was
Okay.
else?
But let me search
Stephen Hawking.
cerebral palsy. Let me find a better definition. I don't want to get this wrong too. So cerebral palsy is a group of movement disorders that appear in early childhood. Signs and symptoms vary among people and over time, but include poor coordination, stiff muscles, weak muscles, and tremors. Yeah, so that's basically it.
Yep.
Yeah, so so I found like yeah, what are your thoughts on Camp Jeanette? You know, maybe I should lead with a description. So this is a description I found. So I think it will be better like then you can like kind of like have your opinion. So the description goes like this. So Camp Jeanette, right? There were about 120 campers with minimal adult supervision. Campers formed bonds removed from the stigma, shame, and isolation they often encounter back home. Some campers experimented with marijuana and formed romantic relationships with each other. Counselors slept in the same bunks as campers, and music was often played. While the majority of campers were from New York, some campers came from Canada and other parts of the US. This is like a brief description. So you kind of get like, it's kind of fun like, you know, like you basically there's no restrictions and you get to do whatever you want. And what are your thoughts on it?
Wait, is this real?
It's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it still a thing now?
No more. But I will tell you why this story is so important and why they decide to make it documentary, because this is like basically the foundation for a lot of the disability civil rights movement that goes on later on. Because a lot of people from this camp basically came out and become activists, and there's a very long interesting story how they fight through like passing the bill and stuff. So it's like really amazing. Yeah, so sorry to cut you off again.
it's fine.
Yeah, so what do you think about Camp Jeanette? Or anyone? Like would you I mean would you want to be part of it, like to become a counselor or something like that? Like would you think it's a good activity, a good like a program to have and continue?
I mean, not just for disabled people, but I feel like
Mhm.
it's a good idea just in general,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because especially in Asia, it's like every part of our life is controlled until a
Yes.
certain age, and for some people it's for their whole lives. So it's nice to be able to explore.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about the idea of like being monitored by counselors.
Oh, they're not monitored, but counselors are there to assist them.
Yeah, but it's
To do
like
whatever.
the same thing, right?
They don't tell them what they can do or cannot do, basically. You know? They smoke marijuana. I mean, marijuana, I'm not sure whether it's illegal at that time, but like, they can have sex there if they want. If they want to watch, I don't know, but
What the?
yeah, but like, it's basically they're just there to help out, basically. So they decide what to eat, what to cook, and they just do everything themselves. Wash the sheets. Maybe they need some assistance. Maybe they wanna, cause some like people with cerebral palsy, they can't really
Yeah.
get around without assistance. So they need people to help them out, and that's where the counselors come in. So, and the counselors are really cool people. Like from the documentary, they are basically like just very carefree. Looks like very carefree, but they're just there to help them play football, help them swim. You know, there's a pool there, so yeah, it's like a wonderland for them,
I mean, like, why would people not want it?
right? I mean, yeah lah, we agree, but maybe in terms of like from where we are from, like, should this program continue, and why do you think it's good? You know, obviously there's like, I already share like a few things that are kind of positive there, but you know, maybe you have different thoughts, opposing thoughts, I don't know. So nothing. Yeah, but I think everyone would agree here that
Oh, what
it's like a good thing. What's that? Bro, what's that?
I don't know what that is. It's a bug. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, I think the only bad
I
thing
got
would
low
be
battery.
like, because it's a summer program,
Mhm.
once they have to go back to their regular scheduled lives,
Oh.
it might be hard for them.
Yeah. Regular schedule. Yeah. So, a lot of them cried when they left camp.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of them cried when they left, and you know, like, and you can see like they are like very happy with the little things in life, and like when they left camp, and when they saw each other in like their normal setting, right, they are really so happy. You know, they just wish they are like there always, all the time. So it's like, why should they be treated like that? You know, like what I said, like if there's like a higher being, then we are considered disabled. But do you want the feeling of being discriminated is not nice, right? Like, why? So like, I mean, it justifies that, you know, everybody should be treated equally. It's, for me, like, even with like sexual orientation, sexuality, like, maybe it's just a random kind of like chance, basically. Everybody's just here because of some sort of mutation, and it's not good or bad, you know. Like for example, if you're born with more testosterone, like we also learned this in the first few weeks. It's like, you, like, there's a track runner, very famous track runner, that cannot qualify for, I don't know, Olympics or what, but it's a huge event because she has more testosterone, and that's the benchmark for like, because there's a lot of like, you can't just judge based on like, I mean, like there's some rules whether you can compete or not, like if you are considered a female in the competition. So all the while that she considers herself as a woman, and she has a biological like organs as a woman, but she has higher testosterone, then she's not qualified already. So, you know, like, there's all these like mutations and stuff that you know, you don't hope for, but you know, I feel like in her case, right, it's just a mutation that's successful, right? She has more testosterone, then she's top of, you know, she can run faster, she can have more muscle mass and do all these crazy things, right? Just like it goes the same with like disabled people. What if there's a mutation that increases their brain capacity, their IQ. Can you consider that as disabled? It's just a mutation, right? But all these people with cerebral palsy, it's just a mutation that caused them to have more difficulties going through life, right? That's what I think. So why should we discriminate against them? We should be our duty. Right? This is a no-brainer. I mean, I guess like our society today gets more acceptance of this idea, but I think all of us would say the same. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yeah. I think let me check if I have more. I think we're on time already. I think I just want to share like a few stats at the end. Yeah. So would you say that like things are getting better for the people with disabilities today?
Yes.
Getting better, yes. And do
In
you think
some ways.
that's it's already enough
Nope.
today? There's always room for
No.
improvement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me share a bit of statistics. So a third of adults with disabilities ranging from the age of 18 to 44 do not have a healthcare provider. So that's sad. And 1/3 of adults with disabilities ranging from age 18 to 44 have unmet healthcare needs due to cost.
This is just America.
I forgot to cite the date of the data, but yeah, this is just America.
Yeah. I wonder why.
So, I mean, like, despite all the national laws that they passed, there's still a lot of room for improvement. It goes to show. And lastly, 1/4 of adults with disabilities age 45 to 64 did not have routine checkup in the past year. I forgot to put the year. I'm so sorry, but yeah. So, like I
Yeah,
said,
shout
well,
out to the Trump administration for trying to get rid of Obamacare. Thank you very much.
yeah, I didn't like. What did they take out from it? I didn't
think-
really do a lot of research about like.
I'm not too sure, but I think
Medicaid
he was trying to,
care.
because Obamacare is like, they can't disqualify people based on pre-existing conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like, if you're born with cancer
Mhm.
and then you try to switch insurance, before they would just deny you because
Mhm.
you know you're more expensive, right? You have cancer.
Oh.
But Obamacare makes that no matter what you have, you can get insurance. And Trump was like, no.
yeah.
Fuck
Uh,
that.
So they cut like
I think he tried
spendings
to.
on that, is it? Yeah, I saw the news like they want to remove the Obamacare, but I don't know what's the specific benefits in Obamacare. I didn't do research on that.
Well, he's gone, so.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, I should put a year so it's more clear if you can see the change. Yeah, but that's basically it for today. Thank you
Yay.
so much for the participation.
Thank you for the
Thank
TED
you.
Talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, hope you guys.
Learned
I learned
something?
a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
I
Yeah.
did
Wow.
the
You must be a very top student in your
Oh,
class.
Yeah.
I'll give you a grade.
Wow.
Oh my god. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you.